Today, we're sitting down with a true icon of Dominican cinema and Hollywood, actor Manny Perez. From Santiago to the bright lights of the big screen, Manny has carved out a name for himself as one of the most versatile and celebrated Latino actors of our time. And he's here to give us the real, behind his life journey, the projects, and what's next for the pride of la República Dominicana. Welcome, Manny Perez. Bienvenido.
Gracias.
I've been following your career forever. Manny Perez is here with us in studio today. How are you feeling? Talk to me.
Well, thank you for having me. Really, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm also, just so you know, I've known of you from a while back.
Really? I'm impressed.
So when you hit me up, I was like, what? Yeah, let's do this. So thank you for having me. Really, this means a lot.
I jumped right in your DMs. I said, hey, Manny, I want to interview you. Because, life is all about going for it, right?
Of course.
And I made a wish list at the beginning of the season, and you were part of the list.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you.
I was like, I want to sit down with Manny Perez. Because there's so many different things I admire about you. First of all, we're both Dominicans. Let's talk about it.
There you go.
Second of all, you're just so not afraid of speaking your mind and really, using your art for the disenfranchised and the people that don't have a voice. And that's super big for me. It's like, you're an actor. That's great. So many actors in this world. But are you making a difference as an actor? You are. And for that, I admire you.
Well, thank you. Well, it's funny, I believe that, God gave me a talent. And I feel like I don't want to be an actor just to walk around with glasses and privar en vaina. I want to make a difference. And I feel like the projects that I do them because they mean something to me or to the community or to the world. And so what I do is I take my money I made, write my own stories that I want to make a point, and I go and shoot them. And yes, I've had problems with the films that I've shot, especially in Dominican Republic, with politicians who don't want the world to know what's happening in their backyard. But I feel like, listen, man, God gave me this voice. I feel like I'm going to use it, and I'm going to show the world, what's happening.
And that brings me right to La Soga 3, which is the project that you're currently, promoting.
Yes.
I saw so much in that movie, and I was just like, wow, he took a risk here. Not only do you talk about, corruption in the government, you also have, child pedophilia in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have so much, just family, just going against family. And, just, crimes against journalists in our country.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, he really took a risk with this one.
Yeah, I did. It's funny, everything you see in that film actually is based on true events that happen in the DR, that are still happening in the DR. And like I said, I feel like if I'm going to invest my own money, I want to make sure that I leave a point so the world can see what's happening. And that means a lot to me as an artist. I really do. I just don't want to act for the sake of just acting. I want to just say, hey, man, this is what's going down. Check it out. Let's make a change. And hopefully, maybe it will change some people's mind and they'll look at what's happening and they'll start a movement. I don't know. But I feel like that's what I want to do as an actor.
And you're leading. That's what you're doing because you put it in me. I'm like, this is happening because I am somewhat disengaged, being, I guess, born and raised in New York. I'm not there, so I'm not experiencing what the island is experiencing. But watching the movie, I was like, shit is real.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Well, you know what's funny? I come from a small town in the DR, right, called Baitoa. It's like in the mountains of Santiago.
Okay, so eres Santiaguero.
Santiaguero. So in this town, we still don't have electricity.
¿Tú me estás hablando mentira?
No, en serio.
¿Pero cómo va a ser?
Exactly, 2024, exactly.
Pero yo vi que, Dominican Republic is the Dubai of the Caribbean, que Lamborghini, que Maseratis.
Dubai is Punta Cana y Santo Domingo. Then everything else
Pasando trabajo todavía.
Pasando trabajo todavía. So I say to myself, well, man, that's what's happening. And I feel like everybody has an iPhone there. Everybody drives Lamborghini, whatever. But there's no electricity to plug your iPhone, dude. So it's like, wait, are we, let's focus on the basic. And La Soga Vengeance 3 deals with, let's get the, matter of fact, the last message that I leave you is, hey, let's focus on the basic. Education, electricity, hospital, Medicare. Like, let's deal with the basic.
That is some basic shit.
That is some basic shit that we need. But somehow we're going. I feel like we're going forward, but at the same time we're going backwards with what's happening in the island, and that's not cool, man. It's not cool.
And now, when you said you got, kind of like backlash from some politicians, how did you receive it? Was it a phone call? Was it the newspapers? Your phone?
This phone, dude, it was crazy.
Te estaban llamando.
Que sí que, este tipo me llamó a mí. I had when I was promoting my film, it opened there. I went on national TV. I went crazy because, I don't know, a mí se me mete el diablo.
Dominicano al fin.
Exactly. And I feel like I say what I say. And I was like complaining about how my little town has no water. And I'm like, dude, 2024.
Arreglen esto.
Arreglen esta vaina. And then an hour later, I get a call on this phone. And it's...
¿Quién te llamó?
Aquí yo no puedo decir porque
Bueno,
me mete un maitoleo.
Ok, está bien. Una gente alta.
Una gente alta en el poder que puede hacer un cambio.
Ok.
He's like, listen, man, I got the point.
Porque qué maldita vergüenza. Manny Perez, our biggest actor internationally en la televisión, diciendo que el pueblo de él no tiene agua y no tiene luz. Es un problema.
He was like, we got the point. We're on it. Trust me, we're on it.
Eso.
And I was like, sí, cálmate con eso, tranquilo. I'm like, you're on it. He's like, I've been on it since. I'm like, well, dude, since 2 years ago. I was told by the last government that you guys were on it. It's been 2 years, nothing is happening. And still nothing happening. And now it's been a year ago, nothing's happening to this day. And so he's like, you need to calm that down, just bring it down. I'm like, listen, bro, ahora que yo voy a hablar.
No me digas a mí lo que yo puedo decir.
Y le cerré el teléfono al tigre. Y ya, de ahí comenzó otra vaina.
No, yo me imagino. But you know what? It takes a lot of courage, to exist in our own country and go up against our own government, because nothing we want more than to be loved by our people.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can take one politician to get everybody to want to turn against us. So I commend you. You're a brave man.
No, well, thank you. The thing is, I'm not trying to be brave. I'm just trying to be real in the moment. And if you ask me, I'm going to answer you in a real way.
You're out here like Spike Lee doing the right thing, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Great film, by the way.
That is a classic. That is definitely a classic. Now, speaking of classics, let's go back to your beginnings. Because you've been doing this. I was watching your reel, like your acting reel, and I'm like, I saw you like in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. I said, this man has been eating off of acting his whole life. Have you ever had any other job other than acting?
No, listen, I've been blessed. But after college, I was a bartender.
Okay.
I worked
Where?
As, downtown
New York?
Novecento, a place called Novecento.
Okay.
Way back.
Un bartender.
Then I went to LA, bartended again.
Claro que sí. You went to LA to act?
To act, but became a bartender.
Bueno, tú sabes cómo son la vaina. Hasta que no conseguimos un role, tenemos que pagar los biles, right?
Exactamente. Y después regresé, and then I booked it's funny, before that I booked this indie film called New York Cop with Mira Sorvino,
I remember
Chad McQueen, and then little old me, as like the bad guy.
Claro que sí.
And I thought, when that came out, I'm like, well, that's going to be the film.
This is it.
This is it.
Yo soy una estrella ya.
Salió esa vaina y nadie me llamó, nada. And I was like, well, back to bartending. So I went back to bartending.
Do you remember how to make any drinks?
Of course.
Mentiroso.
No, en serio. Yo te hago una margarita con mango. Oye, tú te chupas los dedos. Te chupas los dedos. Entonces, I went to LA, didn't book anything, came back and I booked 100 Center Street with Sidney Lumet. And that was an amazing show for A&E where I played this Dominican lawyer, defense attorney. And that really changed my career. Then I took that money and then wrote with a friend of mine, Washington Heights, the film Washington Heights. And that really took my career to a different level. Y así comenzó todo.
How good do you feel about the fact that you've always been able to exist as a Dominican man, as a Latino, telling our stories, playing characters that are like you haven't had to fake it. Because we have some Latinos that play black, that play white, that do anything but play what you do.
Got you.
How good does that feel that you never had to fake who you weren't?
Well, I feel like that's what I am. I feel like as actors, we got to show who we are. And I believe that. I believe that acting is living you in a situation. So I truly believe that. And I've been blessed. Again, I've always played the bad guy, mostly the bad guy. But what I do is I try to find the heart in these characters and just give them a different point of view from my angle as what Manny Perez would do. So, and I always say, you see Denzel Washington as Denzel Washington in every film. You see Robert De Niro as Robert De Niro in every film. Because that's special at. That's what they do. That's what they bring. So I feel like I'm bringing what Manny Perez will bring to that situation that he's involved in whatever character he's playing.
And I love you for it, because anytime I watch you, I'm like, that's Manny. That's how Manny moves his mouth. That's how Manny moves his hands. It's like you're playing a different character, but it's still you. Even the way you move your mouth to the side.
Exactly. That's you. But the thing is, as actors, that's what we got. We have nothing else. I can't be you because it's impossible to be you. You're special. You do you. I do me in a situation. And that's what I believe what acting is about. Not everything else is just extra layer that people don't need. Complicate stuff.
Ahora, dime de Fefita.
Fefita, óyeme.
Cuando yo vi esa película, mira, yo sí me reí con esa película. And let me tell you one thing. If you're listening and you've never watched Ponchao, you have to. It's just such a hilarious flick.
It's a funny flick.
And you did a great gay role. Well, pretend gay role. You were so good at it. I loved it. It was just like, that also felt so natural. But cuando yo vi Fefita, I'm like, how did this link up happen?
Fefita is the most beautiful woman I've ever met in my...
Le dieron una película, ¿tú viste?
Sí. Gracias a Dios, porque she deserves that and more.
Oh, claro que sí.
Pero esa mujer tiene un poder, una fuerza, and she's all about the business. She's like, look, man, lo hago, pero Michelito, antes de comenzar. And I was like, I love you, let's do it.
Páguenme mi cuarto, señores, que yo no trabajo gratis.
Exactamente, but she was amazing. Really, she's amazing. We still chat, we still talk, and I'm so happy they made this film about her life. She's just an amazing talent and an icon in our music industry, Dominican music industry.
And you know what's great? That we idolize her.
Of course.
We give her flowers. We joke around about how old she is and if she's 70 or 80 or 100, but we love her and she's on a pedestal for Dominicans.
No, of course.
And that's super important for us to do with our people. And that's why you're here today.
Well, thank you.
Just know that.
Kind. Well, thank you.
And she's getting her movie. Now, let's talk about Veneno. How did Veneno come about? Is that something you came up with the idea to do?
No, actually, it's funny. When I did El Rey de Najayo,
that's my favorite movie that you've done. It was just so gritty. It was just so real. It was just so raw.
Yeah, no, that was...
The hair was doing its thing in that movie, too. You had good hair. Well, you always have good hair, but in that movie, look good.
You know what's funny? That's based on a real guy. That's based on a real narco guy in the DR.
¿Cuál es el nombre de
él? Diantre, me olvidó el nombre del tigre.
No te apures.
Feliz. Well, it's based on a real... Mm-hmm. If you look up narco, Dominican narco, his name will pop up. Okay. It's based on his life, how he was sent to prison, but in prison, he was out and about every other weekend.
¿Esa era su casa?
Él
no estaba preso?
Exactamente. So it's based on that. So the guy, the producer who produced that film... the producer of Jack Veneno saw El Rey de Najayo and said, hey, man, you look exactly like Jack Veneno.
Pero ven acá.
Exactamente. Él me llamó, oye, loco, yo tengo una película que quiero hacer de Jack Veneno y para mí tú eres Jack Veneno. And I was like, ¿tú me estás hablando? No, loco. So then I was like, okay, well, let's meet up. And he was real. He's like, listen, I own the rights. This is the deal. And you look exactly like him. Let's start. So then I started doing research on Jack Veneno because I knew who he was. I grew up watching him, but I had no idea how to imitate him
his
or
mannerisms,
be him.
Right?
His mannerisms. And it's different the way how I speak. His Dominican is very elite. My Dominican
and he's a real person, so that makes it even harder, right?
Exactly. So I studied that guy for about 4 years via YouTube. Then I had to learn lucha libre. Toda esa
you,
vaina.
you did stunts?
I did stunts. A mí me dieron ahí un riñón. Yo duré 3 días en aire.
Privado.
I was like,
That was all shot in Dominican Republic?
That was all shot in Dominican Republic.
So
and,
what do you do when you do these movies? You relocate to DR?
I relocate to DR and I'm there for 3-4 months.
¿Con quién?
No, un apartamento ahí yo me tiro en una esquina and I work it out somehow.
How are you so humble and like so real? I'm like blown away. And I was talking about that before you came because when I asked you how many people are coming, it was just you. And I'm like, if he would have been a rapper, it would have been 12 people. I said, this is an actor. This is like a Hollywood actor. This is like the biggest Dominican actor ever.
No, well, thank you. But you know what's funny? I see the thing is, I don't believe. That's why I said, to me, being an actor is not about fame and about the glory and the glass. It's about just me doing great work. And I feel like these guys who walk around with 20 hoodlums and 20 dudes behind them, I feel like they have issues of just them being them. And nothing. I'm not talking about anyone else in particular. I'm just saying in general.
Plus, you get to save all your money, right?
And I get to
you don't got to pay a publicist and a manager and a stylist and a hairstylist and a water bottle getter. You don't got to pay 20 people, right?
Not exactly.
Todo ese dinero para el banco, a la cuenta de Manny Perez, ¿verdad?
Y con eso yo invierto ese dinero en otras películas. So.
Déjame hablarte de eso. So, tú inviertes tu propio dinero en las películas tuyas. La Soga 1, 2 y 3, ¿tú fuiste que la financiaste?
La Soga 2 y 3 fui yo solamente. Okay. La Soga 1 fue yo y 2 personas más.
Ok.
Sí, sí. Pero al final del día, el resultado me funciona muy bien.
Okay.
Porque no tengo que compartir mi chalito.
Me gusta como tú piensas. Tú eres como yo. Digo, enséñame todo, que yo hago de todo. Yo hago el audio, yo hago el video, lo que haya que hacer para no pagarle a tanta gente, ¿verdad?
Así mismo es.
Y ahora, Veneno, am I getting a second part? Yo me quedé como like...
Yeah, no, everyone is asking me the same question.
No.
Well, no.
Vamos, I don't know, como que me faltó como que... I don't know, it was like a cliffhanger where you ended,
it
right?
Was. The idea was to make Veneno 2 and 3.
Oh, okay, I knew it, because I'm like...
That was the idea.
What is happening right now?
Well,
is it on pause or is it not going to happen?
It's on pause right now. The producer is working out the details regarding a script.
They need me to help? I could help.
Well, that's exactly, right? I mean...
Vamos a hacer esto because we need it, right?
No, it's true, and we should, you know. But he says that maybe by the end of the year, we will start. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Ahora, what are you working on for 2025? What's in post-production? Talk to me.
Okay, well...
That you can share.
I will. Well, for my own projects, I wrote something that I want to do, another film that I want to shoot, but this one takes place in United States.
Okay.
That deals with Dominican corruption in the United States. There's corruption here too.
Oh, of course there is. We corrupt everywhere.
we're crazy. So that's what I want to do. But with that, I need my funds. It's not going to be enough. I need
what you
more.
Need? Tell me. I'll cut you a check.
Really? Yeah, en serio. No, I'm looking for
under $10,000.
I'm looking for like $300,000.
Oh, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
It's a bit
I'm
much.
gonna have to call Bob Pittman, the CEO of iHeart, be like, hey, dime, hay unos chelitos por ahí que le podemos prestar a Manny Perez. Dime.
Exactly, that would be amazing. So I have that, and I have a film that I worked on as an actor that might come out this year called Final Hour, where I play a priest. That was shot down in Atlanta. It's interesting story.
The Father John movie?
The Father John movie, that's right.
Okay, I read on that. No, listen, I did my research.
Tú estás leyendo tu vaina.
Yo tengo toda mi nota aquí. Dime, how did that come about? And you're playing a priest?
I play the priest.
I could see it.
Yeah, one of the producer saw my work. It's funny, he saw my work in La Soga. And he's like, listen, man, I need a priest who's not afraid to face his demons. Because the whole story deals with him going to prison. He gives the last rites to the prisoner, and this prisoner happens to be the guy who killed his family. Oh, so there's like a conflict of all kinds of stuff.
He's got to be really gritty.
So he has to be like a priest who's not afraid.
Who's a badass.
Yeah.
A badass priest.
So that's the idea.
I can see you doing that. You're badass in all your movies any damn way. Now, were you a badass kid?
No, I was actually no.
What kind of kid were you?
I come from a family of 11 kids.
Claro que sí. Dominicano al fin.
Dominicano al fin.
¿Tu mamá tuvo 11 hijos?
11 muchachos.
Oh, because I didn't know si era tu papá.
No. Together. My mom and my dad.
Yeah. No había televisión en tu casa, de seguro.
Nunca. Óigame,
Ni radio.
Ni radio. We didn't have electricity, so it's like impossible.
No había luz. So
no
you're
había luz.
one of 11?
I'm number 10 of 11.
Okay.
So
Casi el baby.
casi baby. So I was the clown in the family. So I always wanted to like make people laugh. So I was like, when I came to the United States, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it here, guys. Y así comenzó la vaina.
You started with your church, right?
Diablo, loca, pero tú estás en tu mundo.
Listen,
Yes.
I am a stalker / journalist, okay?
No, yeah. I started in a church that's down the block from where I lived.
A
In
Christian
Providence.
church? Un evangélico eran.
No, católico.
¿Católico?
I guess it's Christian católico.
Okay.
No, yeah, católico. And they do Saturdays plays, like afternoon kids
Theater?
So I was like seeing that. I didn't know English, by the way. I had no idea how to speak English. So I was 10, and then I was like, what is that? And they, I'm like, oh, they're doing plays. So I went in there. The lady took me on. She's like, okay, you stay there. You're the tree. So I was the tree,
And
the
this
green
is how
tree.
your acting careers popped off?
I was the green tree in what was it? Peter Pan, was it? Where I played the tree.
No lines.
No lines, and I was smiling. I was like, the tree.
And you was
dude.
happy as hell, right? If life was only that simple, right?
Y de ahí comenzó la fiebre. And I was like, oh, I love this. So I couldn't wait for Saturday to get
What
to
did you
church.
like about it? Was it being on stage? Was it being creative?
I think
was
it
it
was-
making people happy?
I think it was a touch of all the above. Just because it was a different world for me. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. This is great. And ahí se me metió la fiebre. Y de ahí, so when I graduated high school, I decided to move to New York to pursue acting. I went
Solito.
Solito. Óyeme.
Pero espérate, ¿quién te dijo a ti que en Nueva York habían acting? Dime.
Oye, esta
Who
vaina.
told you need to go to New York? Somebody did.
No, it's just I did research and it was New York or LA.
Okay.
And I was like, well,
You could take the bus to New York.
I could take, yeah. So basically I took the bus to New York.
You did?
But mind you, my dad and my mom,
Los viejos tuyos que
no,
estaban-
ellos no querían they were like, no, tú
¿Qué te
quieres ser
estaban
actor.
diciendo?
Tú puedes ser actor en esa iglesia que tú estás cogiendo clases, pero no para Nueva York. Así mismo, loco. And I was like, oh my God. So then I said, mire, porque mi papá always dreamed of one of us, porque éramos 11, to go to college y que le den ahí un diploma. Because I was
Of course. Dominican parents, ellos lo que quieren un título en la pared.
Eso mismo. But none of my 11 brothers and sisters, they all like were factory workers. And they went to high school, quit high school, went into factory. And I was like, you know what, Dad? I'm going to get you that. Esa vainita que tú quieres en la pared. Pero if you let me go to New York.
Chanceame.
Exactamente. So él me chanceó y me dejó para Nueva York. And then that's how I managed to.
¿Quién te dio el dinero a ti para venir para acá? Porque no me digas que tú viniste di que con $20.
No, I got a scholarship.
Oh, you did?
Para que tú
There you
veas.
go. There you
Para
go.
que tú veas.
Oh, okay. So tú viniste para acá para la universidad.
Sí, para la universidad.
Okay,
Exactamente.
no solamente just to act.
No, yeah, I came to study. So then I came and did an audition, and they gave me a scholarship. And I was like, what the hell? ¿Qué es esta vaina?
Porque tú eres un natural. Tú naciste para esto. What you surprised about?
Exactly. Honestly, I had no idea. And then I was like, oh, and then they gave you somehow they gave me extra money on the side.
Oh, claro. Living expenses. The
Exactly.
books.
Y toda esa vaina,
Comprate
¿no?
una ropita.
And
Te
so I was
queremos
like-
happy.
And so I was like, this is perfect. And then that's how I got my college degree, a BA in bachelor in acting.
Look at you.
From Marymount.
I love it. I
No, it
love
was
it.
great. No, thank you.
And then, ¿le presentaste el título a tu papá?
Sí, pero he passed away 3 months before I graduated. And that really broke my heart,
Ay,
sweetie.
papi.
That óyeme, todavía
Ay, no,
duele esa
eso
vaina,
duele para
loca.
siempre.
Pero yo creo que él
Pero te
es-
vio en la universidad, tu viejo. Te
Sí,
vio en la
me vio,
universidad
sí,
y sabía
sí.
que tú estabas haciendo lo que él quería.
Exactamente. Y yo creo que hasta hoy, la razón por que yo estoy haciendo lo que hago, porque mi papá me está guiando.
Oh, claro.
Porque te digo, oye, esta vaina no es fácil. Yo conozco gente, friends of mine, who are way better talent and, they speak way better English and all this. And, loco, it's hard.
¿Tu viejo está contigo?
Sí, no, gracias. Óyeme, gracias a Dios todos los días. Digo, hey, papá, ayúdame. Y él me guía y me ayuda porque al final del día, this is a hard career, dude. It's not for everyone. That's why I say that. I meet actors who like, yeah, I want to be an actor overnight. I'm like, bro, overnight, you gotta work your ass, bro. You gotta learn how to take talleres, workshops, and classes and
It's
figure
craft.
this out, It's not an overnight thing. So...
Now, what role were you most surprised that you got? Like, you were like, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. And you went home, you were like, ¿para qué yo llegué para ese sitio? A mí me dan a eso.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you a little story because
Share.
it's comical shit. I went to LA when I was in my LA bartending
La La
moments.
Land.
See, and they were doing a remake of The Love Boat.
The The show.
The show. And you know the black dude? Hey, the bartender?
Yeah.
I was a bartender. I'm like, this is my job.
You like, esto para mí?
They were looking for a Latino bartender for that role. A Latino actor who can play a bartender in that role. So I go in, got a call back. I was like, well, went in again, got another call back, and they were like, now you're going to go meet the executives, the suits where you do the test, the pilot test, I think, is where you sign the contract and they say exactly how much you're getting. Look, and I saw so many numbers. I'm like, hey, yo, this is great. This is prior to you doing your last screen test. Mm-hmm. So it's me, un blanquito, un blanquito que parece latino, pero no es latino, blanquito, y un chinito, an Asian guy. So the Asian guy goes in, and I hear him. I'm like, they let him go.
Okay, no oíste la champaña.
No, exactamente. I went in. They were like, hey, do you give me a note? Go outside, and then they took the white guy who looks Latino.
The white guy passing as Latino.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went in, and I'm like, wow, he sounded horrible. That's me judging, right?
Tú estabas ahí stalking.
So I'm thinking, esta vaina mía. So I go in, and they're like, how's great, blah, 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 blah. And it's like 20 or 30 suits inside this room.
That's a lot of people.
Crazy. So then they're like, thank you for coming. And I'm thinking, okay. So then I see that the white guy who went in is not outside anymore. So I'm like, well, I guess...
Se fue para su casa?
I'm like, let him go. So then I go home, and I'm thinking, this is my job, man. They call me back. This is my job. I go in, they call me, and they were like, listen, man, my agent calls me. He's like, it's not going to go any further. They went with the other guy.
The white guy
who passed Latino. Oh, yeah, yo caí en el piso. I was crying. I started praying.
Hasta yo quiero llorar ahora mismo.
I was like, this shit is crazy. It broke my heart. But, I got up from there like 2 hours later, and I was like, man, now I'm really going to get strong. I'm really going to, go for what I want. And that made me stronger. But my point is, at that point, they were looking for a Latino. They went with some white dude who looks Latino to get the job. And he got the job. The show got canceled after one season. But the point is, I really thought I was going to get that one. Didn't happen. But then I came to New York, and I booked 100 Central Street with Sidney Lumet, which is like, for me, it's like a legend in the industry of filmmaking. And I played like amazing role.
And that's why you didn't get your bartending gig.
And that's why, no, it's true. When something is meant for you, it's meant. But at that point, it hurt me that I didn't get it. Because I was like, man, look, they're looking for a bartender who's an actor, who's in the show, Latino. Ese soy yo. Pero pa'lante.
Because with jobs where it's you and you're the creative, when they don't pick you, they don't pick you.
Yeah.
And that's hurtful. It's just like, even when I do something with voice, it's like, they hated my voice.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hire me. Or if I do something for interviewing, or they went with somebody else, it's because they didn't like me. So I understand where you kind of like came from. It's just like, what did he have that I didn't have? And I bet you that has to do a lot with acting.
Yeah, or it has to do with the fact that, he's doesn't have an accent. Has to do with
accent.
Well, thank you. I did too. He's white and he's not Latino. I don't know. I mean, I look at all those factors, you know, and I'm thinking, well, could be that. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Your career has been so amazing, and I'm a strong believer in God, and I feel like the roles that you've landed and that you've played, you have killed, and it's because those were the roles for you, not the ones that you didn't get.
No, I think you're right. I think when something is meant for you, it's meant for you. But you still go through that journey of the heartbreak and whatever you go through to figure that out, Now,
how does your family see you at home?
Bueno, ella todavía me dice, loco, ¿y cuándo que tú vas a tener un trabajo de verdad?
Pero vean que esta maldita fregura, ¿será loco que ustedes están?
Dude, it's true.
¿Y cuándo tú vas a trabajar un trabajo regular?
Así mismo. That's exactly what they say, dude. See, the thing is, my family, they're all factory workers, except my little brother. My little brother, I mean, he's amazing. I love him. He actually was the second family member to graduate from college.
Okay.
And he's working down in Miami. Beautiful house.
He's chilling.
He's chilling, making some dough. And it's beautiful, and I'm so proud of him. But everyone else is a factory worker, so they expect you to be like
traditional.
Yeah, get a job, dude. What are you doing?
This is my job.
They're like, yeah, but since I haven't seen you work with Arnold Schwarzenegger or Charles Bronson.
Oh, claro que sí, un tigre que está muerto, ¿verdad?
Exactamente. So you're like, man, what the hell is wrong? But that's how they see life. And I understand because it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't know the industry how it works to get one line in a TV show. Dude, it's
hard.
It's hard. I mean, it's some hard shit to get one line in a TV show. But they don't get it.
But that's family.
Yeah, but
tú tienes que ver cómo a mí me habla mi familia. I'm like, pero esta gente está loca, esta gente no saben. Lo duro que yo trabajo y lo respetada que yo soy. Esa gente me...
No, así es. But that's exactly how it is. I feel like that's part of the culture, though.
It is.
It's part of the Dominican culture or the Latino culture.
¿Tú te crees que tú eres gran vaina?
Exactamente. Y así
como
que
si
piensan
nada.
ellos.
Cuando yo llamo a mi mamá, mira, no me esté hablando así, no me esté hablando, háblame regular a mí. I'm like, pero yo te estoy hablando regular. No. No me hables como que tú me estás entrevistando. I'm like, pero ven acá, mujer. Dale gracias a Dios que tú eres mi mamá. Y si tú le preguntas a mi mamá lo que yo hago, ella no sabe. Mi mamá no te puede explicar a ti bien. Yo no sé. Yo creo que trabaja por la radio por ahí. Y yo tengo como 15 años en esto, en el medio, pero...
That's very funny, huh?
What's your house, Dana? Who do you live with? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I'm married.
Okay, esposa.
So, yeah,
¿Y tu esposa? She's cool?
No, she's cool.
Is she an actress too?
No, she's not. She's
Okay.
nothing to do with the business.
Okay.
Which is great.
Qué chula. ¿Dónde la conociste?
En Santiago.
Oh, ella es
Santiaguera.
de la isla.
De la isla también, sí.
Ay, qué chulo. I love that.
Santiaguera, yeah,
No
yeah.
te casaste con una blanquita.
No.
Eso pasa a veces mucho.
No, yo sé que pasa, pero
Y más
no.
con los dominicanos que dicen, hay que limpiar la raza.
Ah, no, yo no creo esa vaina.
I hate that vaina. Too.
No, yo no quiero esa vaina. Para mí, I'm like real to, I'm real to my culture and my roots.
Pero tú sabes que ese problema es muy existencial en la República Dominicana.
Of course.
Lo que el colorismo, o que yo soy española, que yo soy esto, you know what I'm saying?
Oye, man, we have an issue in the DR which is so crazy, and it has to do with our color.
Colorism.
And it's crazy. You're like, man, listen, we're not back in the Taino time. This is like the real deal here.
And it's very prevalent still. Like it's still, I see it
Yeah.
on my Facebook with my family members. Sometimes I'm like, are we still stuck on this?
No, it's crazy. Well, if you see primetime TV in the DR,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see Dominicano Moreno in primetime TV. You don't. All you see is
Big Papi's not on TV.
Big Papi's not on TV, not in the DR.
Unless it's Big Papi.
Yeah, but exactly, because Big Papi became Big Papi.
Mm-hmm.
But if Big Papi was just un tigre que de Santiago que juega pelota. Oye, man, no, ni caso le hacen. Pero all of a sudden, because he became Big Papi, like,
He's
yo,
an
that's
idol.
Big Papi.
We don't care the color of his skin now, right?
Exactly. It's crazy, dude. We have issues. Huge issues, And it's sad, but that's our people, man.
It is. And we got to love them. And all we can do is what we do. Put Dominicans, la bandera en alto, represent for our people and speak when we do see an issue. Because us staying silent when we see an issue with our government, with our people, with issues like colorism, makes us part of the problem.
No, of course. No, of course. And it's sad. Listen, man, I wish I could become a president, like, run the country.
Would you ever consider politics?
No, I can't, because they will hire someone. They will hire a hitman to take me down, because they'll be like, we got to shut that dude down. Because I'm very passionate man,
Vocal?
and very vocal, and I would put half of whomever is in charge under the jail.
Everybody got to go. You're like,
Everybody gotta go.
you going to jail, you going to jail, you going to jail.
Because I know you corrupt us somehow. But anyway, no, but I'm not into politics. That's why I'd rather just shoot stuff and with my camera and show it to the world, and hopefully a change will happen.
Nah, you're definitely making a difference, because when I was watching La Soga 3, I was like, I see the messages. I saw them, from the children, from the family member, from the journalist, from the government, from your own, perspective. I saw your character change. You were a different person in this movie. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not La Soga I'm used to.
Exactly. He's just an older man who's been through it, and he's learned from it, and now he's just trying to just live his life, and that's it.
And nobody want to leave you alone, right?
And nobody wants to leave him alone, which is crazy.
You had your fight scenes, though.
I did. I got my ass kicked in real life. We rehearsed that shit for like a month, guys.
The one in the bathroom?
The one in the bathroom.
I said, this looks dangerous right now.
No,
Manny's fine right now.
We rehearsed that for a month in the bathroom. I still got my ass beat. But but yeah, it's pretty cool though. It's funny, doing an action flick is very different than doing a drama or doing a comedy. because you gotta really make that real. Like it's like a dance.
How do
but
you get
a
your
fast
body
dance.
ready? Like,
No, it was crazy. It was crazy. But we had some great stunts guys who were from there, and we like just everything was sort of. It was like a dance, set up like a dance, moving fast.
how do you feel about the fact that so many women find you so attractive?
Really?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
thank you.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. They're
Well,
like,
thank you.
Manny. Oh my God, Manny. I told a couple of my friends, I was like, I'm going to interview them. Oh my God, ese hombre es bello. I'm like,
Really? Well, thank you. They're very kind. You know what's
you
funny?
think it's the hair? What do you think it is?
I don't know.
You got to know something.
I got that George Clooney shit going on in my head. Maybe
You've
it's a
always
George.
had good hair. Who's responsible for this head of hair?
It's my dad, actually. I'll show you a picture
Shout
of my
out to
dad.
Pops,
yeah,
bro, 'cause, you know-
he has amazing hair. I mean, my dad was like,
Enséñame a papi, el
"Oh,
que te
señor,
regaló esos cabellos.
ese hombre un tolete de hombre." Let me show you who this guy is. He's amazing.
¿Cómo
guy.
se llamaba tu papá?
Ramon Antonio.
Déjame ver.
Check him out.
Oh, Ramon Antonio had a full head of hair.
He
Oh
was
my!
like, he's the man, you know.
And now you the man.
Well, hopefully I'm trying to be like my dad, you know. It's funny, you know, I feel like my dad was my idol. It's still my idol.
Do you have children?
No, but I want to. We're working on that now.
You working on it now?
Yeah.
Look at you. I
we
love it.
yeah, we're working
'Cause
on
you,
that.
I don't know. I know your character. I'm like, he would be a tough dad.
You know, I would be a sweet dad.
You would be a sweet dad?
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's like, I'm so used to all your characters and like who I've seen you portray that I'm like, he might be a hard dad.
No, I think it would be exactly like my dad. My dad was like
A softie at the end?
softy, but he was rough, but deep down inside, he was a softy.
Well, 11 kids and, you know, probably going through it in the Dominican Republic. You can't be soft.
Yeah.
You can't be añoñando muchacho cuando tú estás criando hombre y estás criando hombre en la República Dominicana.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hay que poner disciplina.
Yeah, he was very disciplined. Eso sí. Híncase ahí. And we were like, me hincaba ahí for like half hour.
Quiero un correazo.
Exactly. But you know what's funny? He never really me dio un correazo.
No.
But cuando se hinca uno, it hurt a lot more, bro. I was like, yeah.
You were kneeling there forever.
I
till
was
dad
kneeling
said-
there for like half hour. Y esa vaina duele más que 3 correazos.
Did your ¿Y tu mamá?
No, mamá
Was she a disciplinary?
Óyeme, ella cogía una chancletazo con todo el mundo. She didn't give a fuck.
She said, aquí golpe para todo el mundo. Yo estoy encojonadísima hoy. Han jodido demasiado y tengo que cocinar y tengo que limpiar. Y son 11. Ven acá, ustedes serán locos que están. Nah, that's so dope. I want you to know, Manny, you know, we're so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Everyone. Dominicans here, Latinos as a general.
No, but thank you.
Because the
Very
way
kind.
you portray us and, you know, just the fact that you play a Latino, you're not faking it.
No, exactly.
You're bringing us to life. You're giving us a voice. You're putting us on the big screen. You're putting us, you know, on TV, in movies, in series. You're giving our people a voice and you're sharing our story. And that is so important. And just for that, I love you.
No, but thank you. Really, you're very kind. Really, thank you. That's beautiful words. And again, I'm just trying to do the best I can with whatever element I have in my hand, if it's a pencil, if it's a camera, and just do the best. And if I get a role, I just try to find the heart in that character. Because I really believe, like, you know, the baddest motherfucker out there. Can I say the word motherfucker?
Oh, of course you
The
can.
baddest motherfucker out there has a heart.
Of course he does.
And he's human. And that's it. You can't play a bad guy. I hate watching movies where everybody's like a bad guy and they're acting like, I'm a bad guy, and they make a bad guy face. You're like, dude, no, you're just a guy.
Like the Penguin? I was watching the Penguin the other day.
Exactly. Like,
I was like, this guy is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like he's just in a situation. And that's it. You know, I have cousins of mine because hacen vaina sucia en la calle. But he's just, I understand why they're doing bad shit in the streets. But he's not a bad guy. He's just.
But then you go home and you're a dad.
Exactly.
And you're a son.
Exactly.
And you're a husband. And those people don't kill their wives. They don't kill their kids. They regular people, right?
Exactly. And that's about that. So I feel like, you know, that's what I do in my acting. It just make it real. Make it just honest and pure where everybody can relate to it, you know?
So you are like the sweetest bad guy to have ever lived. I don't know why I'm getting this from you right now.
Thank you. I am actually pretty kind. Y sabe que being kind, sometimes la gente como que abusan de uno.
Yeah, people can take advantage. Like, don't take my kindness for weakness.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hay
but
gente
they'll
que hacen
try
esa
it.
mierda, sí.
They'll definitely try. But don't change.
No, I won't. I won't.
Do not change because you're one of the few.
No, but thank you.
You're one of the few, you know, that's super dope, talented, successful. and just good people.
No, well, thank
You don't really come across people like that. Everybody's so like high and mighty and up on their high horse. And even the way me and you ended up here today has built a newfound respect. I'm like,
No, well, same. I mean, really, thank you so much. Honestly, this means so much to me. It really does.
don't be lying to me, man.
No, I'm serious. It means this. Honestly, truly, this means so much to me.
Good. I'm glad you're here. And, now we're connected.
Exactly.
Esto es de la comunidad, lo que tú necesitas, lo que yo necesito, y amplificar todo. And, just lean on each other.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure you already have a big network, but what's one more person to be there for you?
No, that is true.
And that's me.
Well, thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I really, really appreciate you sitting down with me today.
Well, thank you for having me. And again, we're like brothers and sisters for life.
Mi primo.
Sí, primos, porque somos primos.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Manny.
you.
Gracias. And come again.
I will.
Don't play with me.
I will.